Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 100 Solo Corp. As you can see on screen here, this is just the practice run. I figure if we're going to do a loot from 100 video, we might as well end and start on an even number, this number being 0. So this was my first attempt at soloing. Took quite a while to set this up, and I was using thralls at this point, but we did manage to get the kill starting this video at 2,220 and ending at 3,220. I'm really looking forward to this one, and let's go ahead before we start to price check the supplies, the super restores, and the divine super combats that we're going to be using the whole video. Looks like the starting amount will come out to be just shy of 12 mil, so 11.9 mil in supplies. We'll see how much we have at the very end. And today the main goal for this video is to receive the Elysian Sigil drop, which is one in, well, I don't know, it's very rare, but it's current price is 656 mil. Looking at my collection log of 2,200 kills, we have 3 Spectrals, 2 Arcanes, but no Elysian, no Pet, and no Jar. I don't really want the Jar anyway, but we really want to see the Elysian. Now for this video, the gear, as it goes for the Dragon Warhammer spec setup, is the Inquisitor Great Helm, the Mythical Cape, as well as the Tyrannical Ring. For the Arclight spec, we have the Warrior Ring imbued, the Warrior Helm, and of course the Fire Cape. And for the Bando's Godsword spec, same thing that was with the Arclight, just as much slash bonus as you can get. So we have the Warrior Helm for that and the Warrior Ring. And of course for the main setup, we're going to be using Missouri with a face guard and a Zamorak spear with the Fire Cape. This is my first time doing this other than the kill I just did, so I'm going to just do this the old school wiki way, which essentially means you have to Warhammer spec 3 times, and then following that you have to Arclight spec 20 times, and then finally you have to do 200 damage with the Bando's Godsword special attack. And while I'm doing this, my 20 defense pure, Swerve's house, as seen on screen there, will be holding the instance for me. I think I spent a total of about 1 million GP for all the instances and 100 kills, so that's not too bad. And now we begin with the Warhammer specs. There's 2, and following that, this inventory, I got 3. Now, I accidentally went for a 4th one, but you should really stop after 3, you know, switch to that Arclight and get Arclight specking. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So you can see the number at the top, very useful plugin, which I will leave in the description below, the name of it, so that anyone who wants to try this out can definitely do that. You can just find it in the RuneLite extensions, and it tracks your specs at Corp, so it really does all the work for you. I remember back in the day seeing streamers write down on a notepad or something like that to keep track of their specs, and now you don't have to do that, so shout out to that plugin. If only I could remember the name of it, but it'll be in the description below at the very top. Now, I do want to say this is definitely not the most efficient or effective method to solo Corp, but this is just loot from 100 base kills, so efficiency for this really doesn't matter to me because it's going to be the same result no matter how quickly it gets done. However, if this was like loot from 10 hours of Corp, I would definitely try to be a lot more efficient and do other methods so that I could get more kills an hour. But at the end of the day, I like this method. It's very laid back and it didn't really take too much time at all. I was able to get a lot done on my Iron Man on the side, AFKing, and I just really like this. I'm surprised it took me this many years to try out Solo Corp. I always just thought it wasn't worth it, you know, 5 kills an hour, who wants to do anything with that? But no, it's really awesome loot table, and the chance to get a solo sigil just really keeps you motivated, especially for you Iron Men out there who do this. I'm really looking forward to this journey on my Iron Man account. I have an Arclight and a BGS on him if you haven't been following the Barrows to Best in Slot series. So yeah, I just need to get a Dragon Warhammer, and then I can come here to Corp. Just have to create a lot of house teleport tabs, and I can do the same exact method on that account that you're seeing here. And we're just finishing up our BGS specs. You know, all in all, it did take about 7 minutes and 52 seconds just to be able to start the kill. And at this point, this is where I Bando's Godsword spec twice, and then I start venging and I switch to my main gear. So you'll see that BGS coming in past 200 damage all the way up to actually 247. And then I go ahead and just cast Vengeance, and I put on my Missouri as well as my Zamorak spear. And at this point, you have 2 options when the purple core spawns. This is during every Corp fight, or at least most of them. Sometimes the core never spawns, but that's rare. But either way, you can just run from core or you can stun core. In this kill, I decided to run from him, which is very simple. You just run back and forth and you make sure not to go underneath Corp or you take a lot of damage. And we did get a successful kill there. It took just shy of 12 minutes to accomplish this, which is why this method isn't for everyone. There's a lot of people out there who have alternate accounts that are also maxed and they bring their alts with them. So instead of soloing Corp on one account, you're pretty much soloing it on 2 accounts, and you get the kill done quicker, and you get to keep all of the money for yourself. And something that I didn't mention in the beginning of the video is in early 2015, when I was still in high school, I was actually doing a lot of a duo corp. I would bring one of my maxed alts, and I would use my main account as well, and then an old friend of mine would bring his max main and use his maxed alt as well. So we were 4-manning corp, and it was basically a duo split, and we did manage to get an Elysian, which I think at the time it was 820 mil, and I walked away with a 410 mil split, which ended up paying for all of my buyable 99s. So I have a long history with corp. I've done a lot of corp masses. One of my last live streams on Twitch actually was a 30-hour live stream, and at the very end of it, many years ago, I did a corp mass, and on the last second of the 30-hour, I actually managed to get a spectral sigil in my name. So for those of you who remember that, that was a very long time ago. But yeah, it's iconic. I mean, it really is. The amount of luck that you can get here is just unreal, and the amount of GP you can make is just the same. It's really awesome. I would say one cool thing about this method compared to the method that I did in 2015 is that I get to keep all the loot for myself, and I don't have to run 2 accounts at the same time. You know, that does get a little stressful, but you can master that ability, but it's still a lot of clicking no matter how you look at it. So yeah, this is a very laid-back method, very AFK until the core spawns. You know, you're just literally sitting here attacking corp and not taking any damage. So I find that incredible that that was ever even a thing, and that it's still a thing to this day. But yeah, I really do enjoy this. I really recommend it for anyone who hasn't tried it out, because at the end of the day, you really never know where your luck lies. I love killing 100 of every boss in the game just because you might get super lucky at one of them, and if it's corp, wow, then you're definitely going to be making some incredible GP. And even despite not getting a sigil, if you're unlucky enough, you can still get this drop right here, which is a beautiful 1.5 mil, 175 onyx bolts enchanted. And for the Iron Men who receive this drop, it's a great high alch, so it's something to keep in mind. Following that, I'd say this is the second best common drop. 2,000 cannonballs, very useful. About 330k, not too bad. But yeah, those are definitely the most 2 profitable common drops. Other than that, it would be the Holy Elixir, but I pretty much consider that a rare. And then, of course, you have the sigils and the pet and the jar after all of that. Getting an Elysian so early on my main account was incredible, and I still kept corping, you know, that year, 2015. Towards the end of it, my alternate account actually did manage to get a second Elysian, which I think we sold for 650 mil, but that was at 565 KC. So I have gotten 2 Elysians under my belt, one on this account and one on an account that I don't have access to anymore, but I want to see a third one. You know, I want to see a fresh one for the collection log for the year of 2023. That is no doubt the goal for this video. I think if I do get an Elysian, 100% I'll keep it. You know, I'll keep that thing no matter what. I know it's going up in price right now, so it seems like a pretty safe investment, but I wouldn't be too disappointed with another Arcane. Spectral I wouldn't be too happy with because it has gone down in price significantly throughout the last year. So let's hope we avoid that. But either way, we're progressing pretty well here. Kills are still at a standard 11 to 12 minutes. That really didn't change too much during the course of this video. A few times I did want to try out stunning the core using a mithril crossbow and emerald bolts enchanted, and this did work really well if it did hit the first or second time. But if your stun doesn't hit the core at all and you're just, you know, you're constantly hitting zeros or something like that, then usually I'll just give up after 3 attempts and I'll just start running from him because, yeah, I don't want to take too much damage, and core constantly damages you if you're standing next to him, so it's up to you if you want to stun. I think stunning's probably easier in a group setting compared to if you're soloing, but that's just my opinion. You know, corp tends to move around the room a lot if you don't have it in the right position, so that can really make stunning a problem, on top of actually just hitting the core. But either way, happy Saturday night to you guys if you're watching this video tonight. Hope you all have a great weekend ahead. We are now 40 kills into the video. Still no sigil, still no rare, but I sense something is coming. I'll certainly take those Onyx Bolts E, though. It's always a breath of fresh air to see those on the ground. Gotta love that beam above them, so I'll take that 1.5 mil. Other than that, the normal drops are pretty basic. You know, raw sharks, green dragon hide. You get a lot of mystic staves, earth, water, and air, which are not worth that much at all, but yeah, a lot of, you know, decent resources, 20 runite ore, stuff like that. So that should all add up to a good amount in the end of the video. Hopefully we'll price check that individually if we do get a rare. But other than that, I've just been hanging out, doing a little bit of corp, Corp, grinding on my Iron Man. Once I finished this video up, I went to Castle Wars. I'm actually working on a Castle Wars related video. Yeah, I know, right? Castle, how are you going to make that to a video? You'll see in a few days. A lot of you guys were asking in the last video if I was doing any League related content, and not this time around. Maybe next time. Just been, you know, kind of in my own head lately doing some stuff, so I don't know, you know. I gotta be in the right grinding headspace for that, and obviously No Sleep November, you know, hasn't really been as many videos as it was last year, but what can I say, right? Sometimes things are just different, so I'm working on it, right? That's all that matters. So no leagues this year. Well, we're gonna be doing that next time, and don't even worry about it, honestly, because every other content creator is doing it, so I'm sure you guys have plenty of videos to watch, and you know, it's nice to represent the actual game, so hopefully this does well. I don't know. I really don't know how this video is gonna do, but hey, there's Onyx bolt tips again, you know, that's really nice. We're getting close to 2300 KC. Also want to say a big thank you to you guys who watched that Eternal Glory video. I never expected over 100,000 people to click on that, you know. I got a huge smile on my face seeing that, so just wow, big thanks to you all. Can't believe it, you know, all these years later you guys are just still supporting me as much as ever, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. There's more Onyx bolt tips. Look at that. Why do I keep saying Onyx bolt tips? I guess I've been killing too many wilderness bosses, but Onyx bolts enchanted, that is what they're actually called. And here we are coming up on another kill. What are we gonna get this time? Okay, so it's a rare, it's a collection log, but it's not the Elysian, it's the Jar of Spirits. I mean, one benefit of getting this is that it was the 80th kill of the video, 2300 KC overall, so it looks clean. But yeah, I mean, we take a look at the collection log here briefly, and yeah, I mean, I was missing the core pet, the Elysian, and the jar. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have preferred the core or the Elysian, but that's okay. The Jar of Spirits is 1 in 1000, so we had luck, we just didn't really have the right type of luck. But maybe I'll be looking back to this moment happy that I got the jar when I, you know, go ahead and try to go for the completion of the collection log here. And 15 kills left to go. It looks like we got a coin drop following that, some magic logs, but overall we're 90 out of 100 kills in, 10 kills left. Will the dream of the Elysian come true? Well, we did 2 corp videos before, loot from 30 hours straight of it with a group, and we got an arcane. That was many years ago. And then we did loot from 1000 corp duo, and we didn't get an Elysian in that one either. I think we got a couple arcanes and a couple of spectrals. So will this be the one? Will this last kill of this video be the Elysian? If not, then there's no doubt about it, we have to do loot from 1000 solo corp in the future to get it. But if it is, that'll save me a lot of time and a lot of effort. And go figure, it's a Mystic Earth staff. So no sigil this time, ladies and gentlemen, but fear not, there will be one in the future. I almost can guarantee it. So let's go ahead and go price check all of my normal drops in this grind. I would say roughly this took about 21 hours to complete. I think I typed at the end of the video it was 24 hours, but just 21 hours for this one. Price checking all of the normal drops. We have all of the runes, the logs, the seeds, the staves, the coins. You guys can see it all. 3.9 mil. That's without the onyx bolts enchanted, the cannonballs, or the jar. Wanted to save the high price items for the very last price check. So now we move on to that, the second and last, the most important drops of them all. So it looks like the onyx bolt tips, 7.6 mil from them, and a total of 9 mil from everything. So 3.9 mil plus 9 mil equals 12.9 mil, so we'll round it up to 13 mil made in 100 corp kills. We'll go ahead and use that jar on my display and my POH, so I mean that's one benefit of it, it's only 100k otherwise. And now that we've accomplished that, let's go ahead and price check the amount of supplies that I use for this video. So it looks like we have 9.3 mil left over, so we spent 2.6 mil on potions, 200k on food, and about 1 mil to hold the instances. Overall profit 9.2 mil. Shout out to my 20 Defense Pure for holding the instance for me. And that's it for this one, guys. I just want to say a big thank you for watching today's video. I will see you guys in a few days with loot from 10 hours of Castle Wars. It's going to be quite a video. That's all I can say about that. But there's the Rune Light loot tracker for the proof of the corp. And with that being said, thank you very much to the channel members, with a huge and special shout out to Angelzblood, DeceptionZ, xXzoticx, and of course Necro Fear. Thank you guys for your insane generosity every month. I really appreciate it, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.